I'm going to focus on the 10 coins. I looked at the tweet that I sent out. Some of these are going to be coins that I'm currently invested in, and I'll tell you that I am, or if I am not. And then we'll go into some coins that you guys have asked me to look at. I haven't looked at them yet, and we'll just see what they look like and what they do. All right, so the first one is Paw. This is one that's been heavily shilled on Twitter already, and I kind of wanted to put this in here, one, because it has been shilled extensively, and that'll give us a good kind of taste on what we're looking at. But also, this is one that I entered in, and I entered in pretty early, and I didn't really talk about this too much. It's something that I think I just heard it on Twitter, actually. I think that's where I found it. But I was interested for a few different reasons. One, the name. And that's another tip I'm going to talk about in the research. The ticker name means everything, okay? It really does. Like, no one wants to buy something that's has a ticker of A3XZT, whatever, right? But people do want to buy coins that are called paw or eggs, right? Or bag. See right here, this is a great example right here. Number 1, all in. 2, blur. Eggs, bag, bone, hex, ape. You see a pattern there? This is something that I've learned to research and doing English and marketing in school and that. Like, word association matters. You know, it's like the Peter Parker kind of name convention, right? A good name is almost like a good brand, and that's going to play into that. Okay, no one buys these random acronyms that you don't associate them with anything in your mind, and that's kind of what I'm looking at, right? So you see it's like the paw, blur, eggs. See what I'm saying? And as you go down, like DBI, it's whatever, and some of these aren't even listed, right? But as you go down the list, that's going to be something that you see. So let's kind of go ahead, and I haven't looked at this yet, and maybe I'm wrong, right? So top performing for the 7-day, this is ranked 900 lower. You got Sunny, Block, Grind, Radar, Hop, Ice. See the association on that? T-Pad, P-Swap. Those are semi sort of word association. Now let's look at the last performing. A and C. What the heck is that? BTCP. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You got Rainey and you got Jones and you got Hodges, whatever. So it kind of goes into like SCLP. So you notice like the harder to understand acronyms and tickers are lower performing. There is a reason for that. It's just psychologically part of the game when you trade. That's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. That's something that I've never seen anybody talk about on Twitter, YouTube, anywhere. So I think that's worth noting. So that's another tidbit that I'm going to talk about tomorrow. But let's go back to the reviews. All right, so with paw, I'm going to go ahead and up this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and where's the button at? Here it is. Go back out of it. Here, if you're not used to DEX tools, I'm going to talk about this in the next video as well. But you got your total market cap is 23 million. That is a little bit high. When I first looked at this was like 2 million. And so I can't remember exactly when I got in, but I made about 7.2x, and I didn't put in a lot of money. I didn't. And that's the thing that we're going to talk about too, is how much money to put in, etc., risk management, things like that. But it was significantly low. Now it's about 23 million, and that was before it went up here. I think I bought somewhere around here, and I think I sold right at this break of the candle. I think that's why I got the channel there. So we're down here. I've been very vocal in my Telegram. If you're not into it, I'll link that as well. That this orange box is what I'm looking at. Okay, I am looking at this box to buy back in. And Paul is one of those small cap coins where, so for the most part, small cap coins are just like quick flips for me. I put in a little bit of money, I get a little bit out once I hit like 2 or 3x, just enough to get my original investment out, and again, I'll talk about this in the next video as well. I take a little bit out to get my original investment out, But if it goes up high enough, like 5x, 7x, 10x, then I'll start to take out more money. It depends on some various factors. And then if it goes 30x, I get it out completely. I don't look back. Because even if you only put in like $1,000, you're getting a $30,000 return. And getting a $30,000 return in 1 month off one position that you didn't even care about, that you didn't even put a lot of money in, is really good. So I want, those are just figures to keep. I'm not saying that's what I work with, but there's some coins that are going to go very well, that you're going to get that 10, 30x. I've only gotten like 5 30x's maybe. And again, I stop at 30x typically, because again, by the time, let's say you buy at 10 million, right? So a 10x from that is 100 million, and then 3 times that's 300 million. So by the time you get to 300 million, you're already at rank like 150. By the time a coin gets to rank 150, I'm cashed out, basically. Because your liquidity is going to improve, but because liquidity is also going to improve, it's going to slow down. People are less interested. People have already bought in that are selling. And so the last one that happened with was Spell. I bought Spell very, very early. And again, one of those word association coins, right? Spell. It had a good branding to it. It had a good marketing aspect to it. It had a good idea. Now, that coin's defunct now, and that's because the creator was just being silly, right? So everybody started talking about Spell on Twitter, and I had already bought in. And when everybody in your mom, when your mom starts talking about coins, that's time to get out. That's a joke, right? But you get what I'm saying. Like when everybody starts talking about it, cash out. That's how I do it. And so with Paul, so there's some coins that I take the flips like that, and even Spell included, right? But Paul is one of these things where I can see this going really high, and I'm not going to say that it is. I mean, it's at 30 million, which is okay. So going from 2 million, 3 million to 30 million is pretty good. And so that's a good sign that this could go up even higher. So my idea is I'm going to buy at this orange label, at this orange box, and ride that even further. I've made a 7x on this. So I'm going to put my original investment back in probably at the 2,000 region here, minus the zeros. And just kind of hold that and just see if it continues to go forward or not. When I was looking at coins, and one reason I started to do this now is because when I was researching coins, I was researching a lot of coins, and I was working with some other people that I know about 3 years ago, and I found a coin called SHIB. Nobody heard of it. I was going to buy it. I didn't buy it, and I could have retired if I bought it at the point that I bought. I found it very early, so this is something that I want to kind of keep going with, because there's a lot of potential in small cap coins, and there's different rule sets, right, than regular trading. But obviously, like this is kind of my MO. Like I'm more of a spot long trader, and so this kind of is a combination of like swing long, so to speak. Like I was only in Paul for like a month, I think. I don't remember where I was at. Somewhere around here. I just don't remember. I mean, if I was a 7x, it must have been. See, if I got out like here, let's say. Well, shoot, I must have got in lower here then. It was 7.2. I don't remember where it was. So I must have got in even lower. So that's the thing. Like, it can go down lower, and I don't really care. So, anyway, I like Paul a lot still. If you notice, this says Paul ETH, but this says Paul USD. Just focus on this. And again, I'll do a rundown next video. I keep saying that. Maybe I should have done that first. But we have the channel here. We broke down below. Now we're kind of doing some kind of weird consolidation. And so I'll just delete all that. But the reason I'm looking for this is because this is a bullish breaker. And so I am looking to get into this area somewhere. It could even go down as low as 1580. I think it could go down as low as here, but I'm thinking probably at the bottom of this big candle, just before that volume profile here. And so this is kind of what I see. I would love to see like a bullish RSI divergence, but we don't see that. Um, so if we go to like the 1 day chart, um, one reason I got out of this is because it was up to like 92. I think it even went up to 94. And so one rule, I don't use AREN as much as I would like to in small caps, but small caps are very receptive to RSIs. So when you get above 90, it's just time to cash out. It's going to probably go down, and so this might take place over the next week or 2 weeks, and probably going to see something like this. This is very SHIB-like, very Dogecoin-like, where it immediately pumps and then it fades back, pumps, fades back. And so that's one thing that you can keep in mind. Kind of got this fib retracement tool, and it goes down to, I forgot that I'm not on my regular TradingView account. So it went to what, like the 2-3 range roughly. So kind of, let's see if we can get rid of this, and actually let's go ahead and try to apply it to here, there, here. That didn't work out too well, but whatever. I'm not going to try to force it. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. If we try to do that here, I mean, I don't really want it to go down that low, but I guess we'll see. But as far as the, let's say, like the 4 hours concerned, I like this area, or I think it's the 1 hour. Yeah, I think this is a good area right here. I don't really want it to go see down below here, but it could, if it does go down there, I'd probably buy more. So anyway, that's Paul. It is, if you don't know what it is, it's basically like Uniswap for SHIB. So I think, again, that's one thing that SHIB is increased. That's the main thing, right? SHIB is now turning into an ecosystem, and something like Uniswap is very valuable to that ecosystem, right? So it's kind of common sense. I'm going to digress from Paul, and we're just going to rapid fire the rest of them. All right, so let's go ahead and get out of this. And the next one is going to be Ordinal Chain. And I think I have it right here. And it's just called ORCH. So again, ignore the ORCH WE, the wrapped Ethereum, because the chart itself is going to be US dollars. This is one that I got in also pretty early, so I want to keep that in mind. I want to disclose this to make sure, like, I'm not trying to, my goal isn't trying to shill nothing. These are just coins I'm interested in. It's got a market cap of 633,000, so that's very, very, very low. I got in at about 200,000. So I'm already up about 3x on this, roughly. So I want you guys to keep in mind that I'm not trying to shill you guys this, okay? These are just coins that I'm interested in. I'm not trying to BS anything. Like, there are accounts that will do that to you. I'm not one of those people. But I want you guys to see that through what I do. Now, I don't want you just to believe me, right? So anyway, that being said, I like Ordinal Chain because it's a community that's based off the ordinals that are NFTs on Bitcoin, basically. And so this isn't, if I'm honest, I think this is something that is kind of a fun little community thing. I don't know how long this is going to last, in my opinion. And when I say that, it could still last a couple years. But I think it's going to take on maybe like kind of a cult following, so to speak. And I think it was worth buying in. So I can't remember exactly where I got in on this. And I got in multiple times, so that's one thing to consider. But I like this because, one, we had the bearish divergence here. And so that gave me a good sign that we were going to go down. We had the consolidation period right here. excuse me, so that, excuse me, so it's a good sign that we could go up. Um, Depending on how you want to view this, that was maybe a deviation, but it pumped up. Now we have, it's kind of holding for now. Excuse me. So overall, a little hopeful. We do have another bearish divergence here, so that's another thing to consider. I'm not really sure how that's going to hold up. The tricky thing about this is that there's a lot of subjectiveness to things like divergences and patterns when the market cap is like less than 1 million. It can get very crazy really fast. This was one of the highest volume spikes that we had since the very beginning, so that's also worth considering. I'm not sure how long this is going to stay divergent, but we'll see how that goes. And this is also the 1 hour time frame, by the way. If you look at the 1 day, it's way different, right? That's not, I mean, it looks pretty promising on the 1 day. That looks pretty attractive, but again, this just started, right? So I'm not sure if there was an airdrop. I don't know any of that stuff. None of that stuff is important to me. It isn't. You know, you hear these things like, oh, people are getting airdrops for this and that, and then, oh, this coin's got a good team. Like, stop BSing, okay? It's, you're buying this because you want to make money, and you look at the chart and see what it does. It's like, okay, it might have some hype. There's certain criteria, which I'll talk about in the next video, and you just run with it, okay? You just run with it. So when you look at things from trying to buy from a team perspective, you're like, well, I could hold this for a year. Well, you probably are not, because that's the thing. If you're buying with a quick flip, let's say, 100 turns into 200, turns into 400 and 800 and 16. So after five flips, you just 16x your count. See what I'm saying? So like, don't focus so much on the long game necessarily. I think there's a time and a place for it. I think it depends on the coin. But for the most part, you're looking for that 2-3x basically, and you'll be surprised how much you can gain from that. Like I've made, what was the maximum I've had? I think I have 70x the portfolio, like in 2021. 70x. Like I'll have a small cap portfolio, and that was over like a 3 or 4 month period, just because I'm just flipping these just for fun. So, and that's the cool thing about it. It's fun. It's not boring. But this is a very attractive kind of cup formation. I like this a lot. It's a lot of volume, best volume since the very beginning. So this is very good. I like this one. Trade at your own risk. I'm currently in it, and that's about all there is. The next one is going to be Dogpad, and so you're going to look at these. You want to look at ones for the icon. This is down 13%. You also want to look at the score. Typically, if you have a higher score, 60 or higher, that's pretty good. Generally, just go for the highest one, but you need to verify that as well. I'll teach you how to do that as well. So here's what Dogpad looks like. Has a market cap of 3 million, a little over 3 million. I am not in this one. I am waiting for this to go down, and it looks like we might get this. We had the high volume spike. This is very similar to Ordinal Chain, right? We had the volume at the beginning, got a current volume, but that's not currently helping it, right? This is a 4-hour chart as well. So a lot of these coins, they haven't been around for 30 days. You may notice that as well. It's another thing I'll talk about. But we had a big rejection here. I'm waiting for this to come down to the 21.50 region or so. That's where I would probably look to buy in, potentially. I'm not sure I will or not just yet, but this is kind of the area that I'm looking at. You have the consolidation, expansion, retest. Very simple, very elementary trading, right? So Dogpad is basically like a launch pad for the SHIB ecosystem. So again, another coin that has potential. I'm going to look at, I got about 7 more we'll look at. All right, so the next one is going to be Archimedes, I think. Let's see if I have spelled that right. It's Arch and UDSC. Again, this one's the current top one. That is the current icon for that. I believe it's called Archimedes Finance. It's just Arch. That one has a market cap of 2.1, so it's very small. Let's go ahead and zoom this up. And by the way, these are on Uniswap. You see the uni. So if you notice that, if you want to notice something like that, go to the TradingView account and then just type in Arch, and then UDSC. And that one did not work actually. Oh, UDSC. There we go. It did work. So you can see Uniswap pairs show up on TradingView. So that's something to keep in mind. So that's what that looks like. And if you have a script like I do, like the Apex script, you can see the buy-in for that. And so you can see how that works, right? And so with this one, I didn't buy. I think I did buy this actually. I am in Archimedes. I don't remember when I bought in, but you had a divergence here. See that really? See, this is where things kind of get weird. But technically, you had a divergence here. So if you would have got out the divergence, you would have made 8R. So that's good. So keep in mind, if it says uni on this, that means it is available on TradingView. Okay, that's a little secret hack that a lot of people don't know. One thing I see here off the bat is we got a good incline going on this. This is what I want to see. I'm a little concerned because this is a deviation, but we'll see how that goes. I'm looking for a bounce there. If it doesn't bounce there, I'm probably going to sell this, honestly. I think I still am in this. I probably should have sold at this point, but I didn't do it. So that's it is what it is. So overall, that's what it looks like. I'd probably buy at a break of this. Again, we're looking at $2 million, so very, very small. But that's kind of how I see it. This is a very early coin yet, but it has a lot of volume, relatively speaking. So that's really good. So far, we're retesting this, so we'll see if this moves up or not. The next coin is going to be Jasmy. And this is something that I've seen this before. This has a much bigger market cap, 300 million. Not quite something I would call a small cap. This is something that one of the mentions that was brought up on my Twitter. So a lot of these, I think the rest of them are going to be ones that I brought up, that have been brought up on Twitter. Jasmy is also a coin that I believe is on KuCoin. Yes. And so this is kind of what that looks like. Overall, I have a hard time buying into this basically because it's so big, and so it doesn't really qualify as a small coin. But we have the retest here, which is it's okay. I would like to wait to see this move back up, especially if we can get a break of this red trend line. That's kind of what I would look for. I think it's just as simple as that. We got the bullish consolidation. We do have a failure of the RSI 50, so that's, again, I don't want to get into this. I would wait for this break of this trend line to get in on that one. The next one is going to be Alien. I don't know what Alien is. These I don't really know, but I'm going to type it in and we'll see. Alien. Alien Fi, it looks like is it. This has a total market cap of less than 6 million, so this qualifies as a small cap. Pair has a very low reputation, and so that's automatically concerning when you see a flag like that. Let me see, is that the only one that pops up? Let's see. Alien. I guess that's it. Alien Fi, hot number 4. So same thing. It's got the low rep. Let me go ahead and go back here. Alien, is that how I spell it? Yep. All right, so not sure what the difference is between this, but this is very concerning. Honestly, I don't know if this is a good coin or not, but it goes 98%, 99% in one day. It's dead. I would strictly, it may not be dead. I don't know. I don't really care. But when you have something like this going on, that's not a good sign. And so let's look at this one. Let's see, is this different? Let's go ahead and go to the 4 hour. But I mean, it's the same. I think it's the same here. Yeah, I would avoid this one, honestly. I don't have good vibes from this. That's not something I want to see. Um, typically, when you let's go to CoinGecko. What does this tell us? All right, so I guess this might be different than Alien 5. What is this? Trade, earn, win crypto. Um, this is a pass for me. I mean, the Atrium is or Arbitrum, whatever is fine. I don't think this is something I want to buy in, basically because I don't like the behavior that it currently has. I don't really like the coin as far as the theme of it, so to speak. And if you do, that's fine. Hey, I'm not going to be against that. You do you, right? But um, overall, I'm a little bit concerned about the chart, about its potential. I would like to wait a little bit and see. I'm not really big into the gamifying coins for that right away, but um, I want to look at this one. Sharky was one that I was actually looking at. That wasn't part of the content, but that was a coin that I looked at previously, and it also has the downtrend as well. And so those are something like when you see a big drawdown like this, like 80%, you want to jump out, jump out. Like don't marry these freaking small cap coins. Okay, like if they're hurting you, you get rid of it. You move on to the next one. It's as easy as that. And that's the thing. Sometimes you're gonna buy in. You should expect that when you buy in, any of your positions could go to zero at any time. And so that's why also, if they happen to go 2x, 3x, you sell them because that's going to make up for those things. For one and two, that's what you're there for anyway. So anyway, keep that in mind. The next coin is going to be DMTR. DMTR. That was another suggestion. Demeter token. I like this one a lot, actually. Despite the fact that the market is probably not treating it very well at the moment. This is actually it was very good in the past past 3 months so far. This is an AI coin that deals with logistics. So if we go around here, you're still about 6x. This is something that's actually, if you go, this is my list, right? You go down to the bottom, it's right here. And so this was something that was suggested to me. Let's get rid of all that. And so my personal buy-in on the script was roughly at 4387. It had a current buy-in, but then it had a sell signal at that point. But this was the position that I had for that, and it did pretty well. So overall, fundamentally, I like DMTR. I think it's going to go a long ways potentially. Chart-wise, doesn't look so hot right now, and so that's kind of what I want to look at with that. And I'll just go to KuCoin. And so this could be a reaccumulation. This doesn't look like something that's reaccumulative, but we got the retest here from the liquidity. Honestly, it's hovering this line right here, so it needs to break this red line. It needs to break that red line, and once it does, I think it's okay to long. Other than that, I would just keep it clean. The other one is Man. I think that's Matrix AI. That sounds like Matrix AI. Let's go Man UDSC. But it's not found. I'm pretty sure it's Matrix because that's on my list as well. And Matrix is doing pretty good. It had an apex signal today at the end of the day, or at the end of this time frame, which is in 1 hour. So that's a good sign. I like this coin a lot. I think out of all the AI coins, this is the most sleeper of the coin. It's talked about quite a bit, but it hasn't been talked about enough, I don't think. But look at this. I mean, I had 4 buy-ins on this, right? And again, this is why I talk about the apex. We had a 64%, and then we had at least 43%, so you had a 2x from there, right? If you would have got out at the divergences, you probably may have gotten a little bit more. Overall, I like this a lot. I wanted to get this order block buy-in, but I don't think we're going to get it because this is looking pretty strong. I like it a lot. So anyway, that's how I see that one. I don't know what I just did. So anyway, and pumping pretty good. So we'll see how that goes. Let me see if I can put this into perspective here. I mean, that's a pretty... So the problem with these kind of coins is that that's a big stop, right? So we'll see how that plays out. But I do like it. Anyway, next one is Lake. I have no idea what Lake is. Hopefully you guys aren't like accidentally trying to get my computer hacked or something. Lake is a very high... No, it's very low market cap. It's 400,000. So that's extremely low. I'm concerned about these. And so we'll get into this in a later video, hopefully. But the 24-hour value is only $100. And so this is something that I would probably not even... I don't even want to talk about because it's just too low. It's one thing to have a total market cap and then have like a low... Like have like a high volume. And I think... What is it? I think Paul was the example... like look at the 24-hour volume, 3 million out of $28 million market cap. People are actively trading this, okay? People are not actively trading Lake. And so this is not something that I'm going to say one way. First of all, I don't like dealing with coins on Binance Chain. I just think that Binance Chain doesn't have a good vetting. No chain has a good vetting system, honestly. But Binance Chain is more likely to get coins of lower quality or coins that have very abrupt changes in their price because it's a cheaper platform to run on. I don't think they have a robust system. I can go into that later, but anyway, the volume reflects the fact that I don't want to buy this because I know that I'm going to put in more than $113. So I'm going to at least, at a minimum, double, triple this volume. At a minimum, you know, depending on how much I want to put in, right? So if you want to put in 1 Ethereum worth, now you're putting in almost 20 times the amount of daily volume. And so that is concerning to me because that means first of all, you're going to jack the price up, right? And so I want you guys to know that if the price is going up, and this has been around for a little longer, this actually isn't a terrible chart. But we've had no volume, right? So that's the thing. Like, I could look at this and be like, okay, I could long it a break, maybe, but there's no volume with that. And so if I put in, let's say I put in a 1 Ethereum position, and 1 Ethereum is, 16 times, basically, let's just say, for lack of math, you're probably going to pump it to here automatically. It's probably going to 2x. But the problem is that once that does that, people are going to sell. And so it's automatically going to go down, and now you just became exit liquidity for somebody else, and now you're automatically, it's going to pump 100%, but then it's going to go down again. And I've seen that. I've been part of that on the bad side of that, where I've tried to sell illegal coin, and I had to sell for a 30% loss just to get out, just to save my money. So I am not a fan of this coin. I'm not saying there's nothing bad about it. I don't know anything about it, honestly. I'm looking at the volume, and I'm not interested. So the next one is RDNT. I think I've seen this one before. Radiant. This is a 66 market cap, so not exactly a small cap coin. This is a very attractive coin. We got the RSI divergence, which I'm not a big fan of. So this isn't quite a small cap, but one thing I see is you have that trend line, you have this one. And so when you're looking at small caps in general, you want to look at more in terms of trends versus price action. You really do, because in order for these to take off, they need to be trendy. So you need to look at trends. So that's kind of the hidden thing about that. I want to see a break of this. If this breaks above, which often happens with small cap coins, even though this isn't a small cap coin, this will go parabolic. So that's the thing. If you want to look for a rising wedge that breaks upward, that is your sign that things will go parabolic. And so we saw that here, right? And so this is a great example. This was a wedge that I hit the wrong one. It broke above up, and from that break roughly there to the top, it went 94%. And so that's something that you could look at. But again, it has a $66 million market cap. So what did I say about that? You're only going to have a maximum. So in order for it to get to the top 100, it needs to have 400% market cap. Well, going from 66 market cap to like 400 is like an 8x. So the maximum, roughly, right? So the maximum that you're going to get is an 8x, which is good. That's good. But the small cap coins, you can get more than that sometimes. So that's okay. So anyway, that's RDNT. I think I've heard this before, and I think it was a decent coin. I don't remember offhand. I don't want to quote that necessarily. And again, I'll have different videos. I'll have one, coming up soon, hopefully this week, about how to research this completely. Some about tips and tricks. Some about certain coins that I prefer. Things like that. So anyway, that's the video. It was probably longer than I thought, but I guess it is what it is. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. I'll send this on Twitter. I'll do all that stuff. Let me know if it's good, and I'll hopefully see you next time.